Hi, welcome to Cliterally Speaking the Podcast. I'm Michelle Doherty.
And I'm Emily Lane.
We are BFFs dedicated to bringing you conversations between girlfriends over a bottle of wine.
Oh, I am so excited about the wine part.
Oh, me too. So pull up a chair, grab your glass,
and let's get talking.
Hey, Emily, how are you today?
Hey, Michelle. I'm great. I'm kind of excited about this new location that we're doing our live show today.
Yeah.
We have done one other show here before, and it was last year when we made your Christmas casserole.
We did. And
I
it was
know.
so much fun. And I wanted us to do something different. And I'm trying to find us on Facebook right now.
I just gave up because I'd rather be right here with you.
Oh, wait, there it is. There it is.
And, so
There we are.
I think it's awesome. We're right here. We're approaching Thanksgiving here in a week, which is why our time of the month, thankfully, timed it out a little early for us. So give us some space. Before,
next week we would have done it, but everybody would be getting ready for the Thanksgiving at home with your friends.
So I love the fact that once again we're approaching a food holiday, and we're here in a kitchen. It seems so perfect.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I like my kitchen.
Nice and cozy.
Yeah.
We got these beautiful flowers
From Ann Rabbit with Thorn Studio. We must give a shout out to her.
That's right.
Give a shout out to her. So one of the things we definitely need for you guys to do is to let us know that you're here by saying hello in the comments, because we've told you this before. We're using a different software to broadcast out, and it's not like on Facebook when we just use Facebook and we can see, hey, that you're there and we can give you a shout out. So if you please say hi in the comments, then we know you're there and we can say hello to you then and stuff like that. So
that's right. So I think we should start with the wine part because everybody knows I'm so excited about the wine part.
Yeah. Well, let me get the box.
Yeah, so because it's the holidays and mass consumption is, a priority.
It's what we do.
Right. Rather than one bottle, we got a box which holds
3.
Is it 3?
It's 3. Oh, no, it says right. It's 4 bottles.
It's 4 bottles.
But it's 3 liters. So 4 bottles of wine make 3 liters. Do the math.
$27 right here. It's a Coderone.
So tasty.
Yeah, I mean, it is delicious. You actually,
I'm going to put it right here.
You really kind of can't go wrong with it. It's very easy to drink. It's got, some of those nice kind of, dark fruits on it.
Yeah.
Let me taste it.
Yeah, it's easy
It is easy
to drink. Nobody's going to be like, oh,
what is this?
This hurts me. No, it's actually, it'll get everybody well wasted or not wasted, but nice and a little spirited for you.
That's right. Yeah, so I think it's good. I think it's a great option for any time of year, but especially right now. And of course, you can cook with it and all that jazz.
Yeah, so we're just going to hope not to drink the whole box on tonight's show.
Oh my gosh.
That's a plan, right?
Is it a plan?
We usually drink a bottle on a show.
I mean,
so maybe a
always
fourth.
Good to see it through.
We only have an hour. So, it's our time of the month. We love meeting. We love getting together with you guys and chatting. And I wanted definitely to kind of get us out of Studio C, bring us here into the kitchen, have little snacks to talk about, to help us while we're talking. And it's a little different.
I think the last several conversations we've had, it's been, stressed with COVID and the election and all of that. And I think that it's just going to be really nice today to just kind of take a pause on that stress and, celebrate the things that we're thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And we're certainly thankful for all of you and good wine. And, celebrate, that we had some positive results.
Yeah, I mean, like we said on the opener, this is the stuff we're grateful for.
Yeah.
So it could be a variety of things that we're grateful for,
Absolutely.
and we're gonna kind of just talk about that. I'm gonna have another sip.
Celebrate some of our favorite traditions. We'd love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite Thanksgiving traditions?
Right.
And maybe even share a few kind of odd ones that are out there.
Sure, we can do whatever. I remember 2 years ago. This time I was visiting Sweden and giving, bringing Thanksgiving to my friends in Sweden.
Yeah.
And we had the Zoom call and recorded a little episode.
Right.
And you were sick.
I was. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, that's true. Usually, I don't know, it feels like every year around the holidays at some point.
Knock on some wood that you're okay right now.
Well, I kind of think with this new time that we're in, everybody's being hyper careful, washing the hands all the time, staying really isolated. Like, I'm not around people who are sick right now. So I'm feeling like that might mean I won't get that winter cold that I usually get,
Yeah.
I'm curious. So your friends that you made Thanksgiving for, it was their first Thanksgiving, right?
As Swedish people, it was their first Thanksgiving. Now, Anne had Thanksgiving when she was in the States, but
So is she hooked on Thanksgiving now? Are they doing their own version?
I don't think they're doing their own version of it, but I do know that her sons were like, we should do this every year because they really enjoyed the meal.
Yeah.
And, they had a really good time just celebrating this American tradition as best we could, and it meant a lot. I really enjoyed doing that for them. And cooking the smallest turkey I've ever cooked and asking people to, hello, America, when we have our Thanksgiving, and even if it's just two of you, don't you buy the largest turkey just because you're used to that? Even if,
leftovers. It's all about the leftovers.
It's about the leftovers.
The turkey pot pie.
I think my turkey was maybe 7 pounds max in Sweden. And I looked at it and I'm like, how in the world am I going to feed 8 people with this turkey? And I did fine.
I'm sure it was plenty.
It was plenty, which then made me reconsider why we buy such a big turkey here in the States.
We're going to do something a little different this year.
Are you?
Yeah. So rather than getting the huge bird, and having tons of leftovers and all of that, I still hope to have some leftovers, but we're going to go Kentucky Fried Turkey. And this isn't dropping the turkey in a big vat of oil. This is cutting it up and battering it in, a really delicious...
Raw? You're going to cut it up raw?
And fry it. So think fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that with our turkey this year. So just to switch it up. Try something different,
Yeah.
Small little group, and then I'll still have all the yummy mashed potatoes and all that stuff. But it's going to be Kentucky Fried Turkey this year.
Well, I think that your guests will really enjoy it. I just realized, I know so much has been going on, but I just realized that Thanksgiving is next week.
I know.
And this would be normally my off year for Thanksgiving, but since COVID, I'm going to be home with my boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I kind of need to go to the grocery store and start buying some of the foods to cook for Thursday. Right. And because it would be really pretty awful for me to wake up on Thursday next week and go,
oops, it's Thanksgiving.
You guys cool with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Because that's all we have.
Yeah.
And then I need to ask the boys what they want because, again, there's just 3 of us. Oh, but we're going to do this cool thing, and I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to do I bought a portal, so I have a Facebook portal now, and I bought one for my mom in Tennessee, and so I sent one to her, and so we're going to put our portals on the ends of our tables.
Oh, that's a great
so
idea.
that we connect that way. And
the portals are kind of amazing, too, because they kind of they move around a little bit, which makes it feel more
like you're there.
Yeah, it's less stagnant. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be really fun.
It was really nice because, you know, my mom doesn't have an iPhone, and so when we talk, and we always just talk on the phone, but sometimes I would just like to FaceTime her, but I can't FaceTime her because she doesn't have an iPhone. She has an Android. Yeah. But I thought, well, with the portal, this would allow my mom and I to video chat more easily. And so I sent it to her, and then when we were on our call, I connected my sister, I connected my brothers, I connected my sister-in-law.
Over here.
Yeah, I got everybody connected, and I could tell my mom was just so happy having nearly all of her children on the call because my older brother was he was driving and he wasn't available. But you know, I know it made my mom really happy. And so so then I also wanted her to learn how to make the calls herself.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to get off the call. You guys help mom know how to add somebody. And then we played fun little games.
That's great.
You know, Facebook Messenger. So I think it'll be nice at Thanksgiving to have her and her partner, Gary, her husband, right there on the on the portal.
Right.
And then my daughter's going to join us, so we'll add her to the screen. It's not like Zoom, you know. Zoom is very static, and you can do Zoom. I mean, if you are trying to figure out how to connect with your loved ones who are across the U.S. and normally you would get together. I mean, you could put a laptop or a monitor up and do a Zoom call, but it's just more. It's more Brady Bunch. It's more static. And we're on Zoom all the time with our work.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, to create a different experience.
Right, right.
Yeah, so thinking back to, things are going to be different this year and probably next year as well.
Yeah. Unless we're all vaccinated by then, which would be an incredible feat to get 300 million people vaccinated in a year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Would that be like 1 million people a day? If we have 365 days and there's 300 million, it would be just under 1 million people a day.
Not really viable, is it?
I can't.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. So.
But, not everybody's going to jump right in line to get vaccinated either.
I'm not. I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the really people that really need it get those vaccinations first. Yeah.
Yeah, I can appreciate that for sure. But I am absolutely missing my family. Seeing my mom and my dad and everyone. And Thanksgiving was always that time.
Yeah.
When you get together and play cards and have
do dishes.
Oh,
lots and lots of dishes.
Absolutely. What are some of your favorite traditions that were either dishes that you had or just things that you would do every year when you get your family together?
So I moved around a lot as a kid because we were military, and so some of the more special holidays were when family would come visit, or we would go see family. And now some people, let me backtrack that. All of holidays are great when you can be with your family. Now, as a military child moving around, it wasn't often that we would be able to celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving with my grandparents or my cousins or things like that because we just didn't live close enough. So when that opportunity happened and we were together, some of my favorite things that we did, we always played a football game, a Thanksgiving football game, cousins versus cousins. Yeah. I can't even imagine doing that now.
Right.
We would probably just have to let the grandchildren and the children do that. I think I also have like memories of lots of raking leaves at my grandparents' house. Did you have to do that?
Oh no, we only did it if we wanted to jump in them.
Well, we jumped in at the end, but it was like, you guys are here. We need these leaves raked. Yeah. So we would have to do that. And it's just that's kind of the stuff we would do. But what about you? What's some favorite memories do you have?
Yeah, so growing up, we always went to my grandmother's house, and it would be my immediate family, my brother, my parents, and then my grandmother, grandpa, and my uncle. That was it. So pretty small gathering.
Yeah.
But the amount of food was crazy. And then, of course, my grandmother made all of the Jello salads. So you'd have the
Jello salads.
Yeah, you'd have the ambrosia. You'd have the green one. You'd have the orange one. You'd have.
Did you have like the little tangerines inside your orange?
Oh, right.
Yeah, Jello salad.
Oh, yeah. There was the green one had cottage cheese in it.
Yep.
And pineapple.
Yes.
And so we
would it be in a mold?
And there was one that had like marshmallows in it. Mm-hmm. So we had lots of those, but my very favorite was the Billy Sunday pudding, which is a date pudding that has big tapioca in it. That's the uber favorite, followed by the cranberry salad, which also has Jello in it.
So let me ask you, how much Jello do you make at your holiday gatherings now?
I do still make the cranberry salad because it is just so refreshing and delicious and iconic for me.
Yeah.
It's chopped up fresh cranberries and Jello and all kinds of apples and all kinds of stuff, and lemon. It's really, really yummy. So that's the Jello.
The Jello.
Right. I pared way down from the 10 or 12.
Is it wrong to say that I kind of miss those Jello days?
Oh, I totally miss those Jello days. And all the pies, too. There was the pecan pie, the apple pie, the cherry
pumpkin pie.
the pumpkin pie. Like,
yeah.
No matter what you liked, it was all there.
Yeah, we would always do pumpkin, pecan, and on occasion there would be the cherry pie. Because, I always loved cherry pie the best. And but with the pumpkin and the pecan is so tasty.
Yeah.
It is so bad for you, though. That's it really sucks to know those things.
Yeah, pecans are good for you.
Yeah, I guess it's just everything else in the pie. It's just one day, right? No leftovers.
Yeah, those are things that you don't enjoy them all that often, and I think a little splurge here or there every now and then, it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
But those were always those are some of my favorites. The pecan pie for sure. My mom makes an amazing pecan pie, and which has become something that I do every year too. So
you don't buy it store-bought?
No. Love how adamant I was about that. I was appalled.
Do you buy anything store-bought?
No.
All right. So let me ask you this. How early do you start preparing your Thanksgiving meal?
The day before.
Oh, thank God.
Well, things like
because
chopping.
You need to eat it on Thanksgiving.
That's true. Yeah, I have to, because it just takes a long time to get it all together,
Yeah.
Just the stuffing and all. I do as much prep work as I can possibly fathom. And then that way, come when I wake up, I'm not having to wake up super early on Thanksgiving. I just can wake up at my own pace and then just have everything kind of organized and ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's usually how I like to.
And what's your typical meal?
So usually it's a smoked turkey.
This year will be a little different.
Yep, smoked on the grill, and followed by I make a chestnut stuffing and truffled mashed potatoes. And, of course, the cranberry sauce, which we've talked about. And then another signature dish that I really, really love is haricot vert, green beans.
Oh, thank you.
And they're tossed in a bourbon maple shallot sauce that also has chestnuts in it.
Nice.
So those are, so that's usually the main part. And I always make a big, I love my big salads and stuff. So I always make a big pretty salad with pomegranates and cheese.
Yeah.
Goat cheese.
Yeah.
What about you? Tell me about your signature.
So we're very traditional in the Doherty household. Mm-hmm. We have turkey that I usually have. I have this big roaster that I put it in and I cook it overnight so that it's, I don't have to because I buy such a big turkey, and I don't want to use up my oven space with the turkey. So I have a roaster, and I have that cooking overnight, so you wake up to smelling it. And we do, I do this. We do the green beans, green bean casserole,
right?
The green bean casserole. Yeah. We do sweet potato casserole.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I do a sweet potato.
Yeah, so. Sometimes our sweet potato is the marshmallow version, which marshmallow and brown sugar, which is again straight to the just mainline in it,
Yep.
And then the other one, I've done more of like a chai with orange.
Ooh, that sounds really
that's
good.
Way less sugar. It's still very, very tasty, but it doesn't have the nice toasted marshmallows on top. And then we have stuffing. But the stuffing that I do, if I can remember the name of it. Anyway, it's like, it's a sausage. It's a sausage with lots of butter and red pepper stuffing.
Ooh, red pepper, yeah.
Red pepper stuffing. It is one of the favorites of my kids. And then I think, cranberries, the sliced cranberries. I'm trying to think of my table. Gravy.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Gravy, and I have now finally gotten to the age where I can make gravy without a problem.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard. I mean, it scares a lot of people that it's not that.
It's just a matter of water, flour, mixing it, and it was one of my favorite memories. Was making the gravy with my grandmother. So my grandmother Nell, she passed away 12 years ago, the 15th of November. All right, so she's been gone 12 years, and she lived in Arnold, which is not far from St. Louis. And she would come up here. We would make Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. She would always be standing. She was like 4'11", and she would stand over the roaster, and she was in charge of the gravy, and that's one of the things she did her whole life. But one year she came. We were living in Tulsa, so it must have been my senior year in high school. We were living in Tulsa, and my grandmother and grandfather came to visit for Thanksgiving. And my mom got really sick.
Oh,
she got so sick, she was in the bed. She couldn't do anything. So my grandmother and I put Thanksgiving together, and we cooked, and it was one of my favorite Thanksgiving memories because she and I we just threw it in there, and we got it all done. And my mom came downstairs and saw the kitchen, and she's like, "So it must have been you and Grandma that because my mother is the kind that cleans up as she goes."
Oh yeah.
My grandmother and I had shit everywhere. We had flour, we had pots and pans. It was just
close the door. You can't.
Yeah, I was like, "Mom, you're not feeling well. Just go away." Grandma and I had a really good time. So that's one of my favorite memories with my grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's my meal. That's my memory.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, Emily, what are some things that you are thankful for this year?
I actually.
We got a lot.
I think so. It has. We talk about it a lot. It's been a challenging year, for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I am extremely thankful that, I found myself in a dream job.
Right.
And in the world of fashion, which, my goodness,
right.
And our show continues to grow. Our community continues to grow. We continue to have these incredible conversations with people.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel really, and I'm just excited about all of the projects that I'm developing. With work, I'm developing kind of a fashion design circle, and I'm talking to fashion designers all around the world, which is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And my travel to El Salvador earlier this year, that was completely a game changer for me.
Yeah.
And I remember, contemplating going on this trip. And there was everything in my core was telling me, you need to go. But meanwhile, family members, friends were like, El Salvador? Have you looked that up?
Yeah.
Don't go, And so but I really listened. I listened to, my inner self, as our producer Denise always likes to say, trust that gut.
Yeah.
That bitch knows.
Yeah.
And boy, did it know, because the people that I met and the trajectory that evolved out of that was, worth it for sure. So, yeah, those are definitely some highlights for me this year. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I started the year off in January getting to go to Dublin with our friend Nikki and another friend Shannon, which was like so much fun. And it's crazy to think that was the last international travel I've done, because I'd done a lot in the couple of years prior to that. And it's also, I'm so grateful we got to go. Like, I'm so grateful that COVID, although I think it might have been around.
Oh, I'm sure of
it. We didn't really know about it yet to keep us local, because we had a really lovely time. I'm thankful and grateful for both of all of my children, of course, but I'm really grateful that my sons are here. And I'm grateful that for the first few months of COVID, I had my son William here with me, because I think I would have been quite lonely if I didn't have him here. And then my other son Jacob has moved back, and so I have them here to keep me talking to people, not going crazy, not feeling completely isolated.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the fence they built in the backyard.
It's beautiful. I just looked at it.
Isn't it great?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I'm thankful for the fact that my improv groups, we've done 2 shows, and that's in quotes, in the backyard.
Those are shows.
Right. And with socially distanced, of course, and we are looking forward to, in the future, in the spring, starting that on a more regular basis. So if you're in the St. Louis area, you can make a reservation to come to Backyard Prov and watch some improv in the backyard. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful that my son, my son Jacob had been exposed to COVID and caught it at the end of July.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that he was recovered without, doesn't seem to have any long-lasting effects, that it wasn't something that put him in the hospital. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for both my parents being healthy. I mean, there's a lot when you sit back to today's, because everything's kind of, we don't know. I mean, everything that we took for granted, last year, Thanksgiving, I went down to my brother. I mean, we were all sort of moving along on that trajectory that we all normally do. And this year, it made us stop.
It's interesting because I look at TV shows and,
I'm thankful for Schitt's Creek.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. But, I think that, I look and see things, first, think Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, like all these things where people just would gather, and it would be it just wouldn't be a second thought that there were all these people around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure when it's going to happen where I'm not going to, be once again in a crowd and feel okay about being in a crowd.
Yeah, I think it'll be after 60% of our population has been immunized, vaccinated against COVID, probably. So we might be 3 years out. I don't know.
It's just really wild to think about, how in a short amount of time I look at these things, like these movies and TV shows where you see all these crowds and parties and whatnot, and I think, well, that's really not relevant right now.
Yeah. I have looked at memories on Facebook, and they've got like concerts and stuff, and you just think about all those times you're out there, not masked, of course, and you're just screaming and hollering and sweating on everybody.
I miss playing in an arena with 17,000
Was
people.
that last year?
Yes.
At this time?
That was just a year ago. I know.
Wow.
I know. I miss those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I've just got to find a new way to get that fixed,
I guess lots of live streaming. I'm grateful for us learning to. Okay, here comes Bambi.
Bambi is coming to say
Yeah,
hi.
you guys can't see her, but
dog.
she apparently she wants to go outside. She's gonna pass by right about here.
She's so pretty. Yep, you can see the top of her.
You see the top of her head?
She's like, we have food and wine. I need to be a part of this party. I am one of the girls after all.
I am grateful for Bambi. I'm also grateful for our addition to the family, Salem, the cat, who has not come.
He has not graced us with his presence.
He's probably locked into a room because he would be
he's
all
usually
over.
all up in our business.
All up in our business. I am, there's lots to be grateful for. I'm grateful that my friends are healthy.
Mm-hmm.
My friends who have been exposed to COVID have recovered. I personally don't know anybody who has passed from COVID, even that you do. Who?
There's a whole list. There's quite a few actually. Yeah. Which is when people think it's like this political ploy. Like, no, I actually know people who have died. People from 19 years old to middle-aged on up.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
I think what is interesting, kind of thinking about Thanksgiving in years past, I was just kind of doing a little like, I wonder, like, I know my traditions, but what are like other little traditions that have been out there throughout the history of Thanksgiving? And there's some really
good ones.
There is some interesting things that people have done to celebrate this day. Some of which I find not so surprising, but others where I was like, wow. So things like turkey bowling and stuff. That's not okay.
We expect that. Yeah.
I personally am not super thrilled about that. A whole host of reasons why, but
so a turkey bowl to me is something.
You're like bowling with the turkey.
Oh no! My idea of a turkey bowl was like a soccer game or a football game.
Yeah.
No, yours it's actually bowling the turkey.
Yeah, super sad.
Alive or dead?
No, dead.
Okay, dead.
Well,
I had to clear it up.
Yeah,
I had to ask.
So there's that. But the one that I loved the most was learning about like 19th century, late 19th century, kids would get dressed up and it was like mask day or something like that. And it was almost like trick-or-treating, but it was not quite trick-or-treating. They would get masked up and boys would often dress as their sisters.
Okay.
So the fact that they were like cross-dressing and being wild and crazy, I thought was really curious. But what happened is that tradition transitioned into what was eventually became Ragamuffin Day.
Ragamuffin Day?
Have you ever heard about this? It's a real thing that existed in the early 20th century where, these costumes kind of kept evolving from mask day to like really started getting kind of...
Are you going outside? This is my life.
Yeah.
Are you going to go outside?
Just leave her in. She just wants to be a part of it.
I'm going to leave the door open to make it easier.
Okay, so Ragamuffin Day, people would dress intentionally in rags, and it really was kind of like the first forms of trick-or-treating because they'd go around and knock on doors, and they'd be like, anything for Thanksgiving? And then, they'd give like an apple or some candy or a penny.
Wow.
Ragamuffin Day.
Like on the East Coast, probably?
The United States. It was just a...
So I wonder why it stopped.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. Something to think about,
Yeah. But do you remember watching Meet Me in St. Louis?
Louie, meet me at the fair.
Right.
Yes.
So, there's this whole day where these kids
that was
are
Halloween.
out. Was it?
I always thought
it was right before Christmas, and these kids are all getting dressed up in their rags and wearing the masks.
Yeah.
Because that tradition of Mask Day did become Ragamuffin Day. So I'm curious if that's really what they were doing.
We had Katie Moon from the History Museum on our podcast. We should probably ask her about that, what she knows. Yeah.
I know. I'm kind of into it. I want to do it.
I would like to see what Emily's ragamuffin outfit looks like. It's probably going to be the nicest ragamuffin outfit than anybody else. If I were to go ragamuffin, I would just look like yesterday. I would look like I like to. I mean, when I'm home, I'm there's a meme out there and it says I'm one step above homeless in my clothes. Because that's what's comfortable. And one of our friends, oh dear Elise, I saw her yesterday at 2 days ago at a friend of mine lost her husband this week. And so we went to his wake. And Elise, who had not been out because she's been working from home, taking care of things, and she was like, I'm not used to dressing in clothes, putting a bra on, putting on pants. She's like, I actually prefer my feral self. Can we just be our feral selves? Line. Yes. Yeah. So I think my ragamuffin would be close to feral. Not Emily's ragamuffin would probably have some glitz and glamour to it.
I definitely can relate to the braless thing because, I worked from home for years. So I've been braless for a long time, and now that I'm actually in an office, it is by the end of the day I'm like, get me out of this thing.
It's time to free boob it.
It's terrible.
Time to free boob for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think if I was going to sport a ragamuffin day, I would definitely do my best.
Of course you would.
But I'd still probably tie up the shirt, have a beret on, there'd probably be some kind of thing.
There'd be some signature, little bling on there somewhere.
I'm sure there would be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did dress as a hobo for Halloween, but 3rd or 4th grade, and man, did I love that outfit. I did. I thought it was great. But that was,
3rd or 4th, that was the early days.
It was. But I wore, I had, the little pole with the scarf and, a teddy bear, and I had, walked around with that.
You had the whole, backstory with it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I left home at 3, me and my teddy bear.
So, Emily came to do Halloween here. Right. She came, and so we sat on the front porch, and we passed out candy. And in my neighborhood, prior to COVID, we would have had hundreds of kids come through. This year, we didn't have as many. We still had quite a bit, but not nearly as many as normal. And it was interesting to see Emily's. You're experiencing what I guess I've just taken for granted all these years now since I've been doing it. But I wanted to share with you guys an aha moment for me. So in St. Louis, if you come to trick or treat, you have to have a joke. That is just what you do in St. Louis. And you better have a joke. I might be a little more understanding if you're a younger child, but if you are,
teenager,
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you've been trick or treating for a while, you have a joke. She's
harsh too. You better have that joke, or you will be turned away.
I think I did. I gave them.
You actually turned away.
I gave them opportunities, right, to take care of it. But so if a child comes up and they don't have a joke, I sometimes offer them the ability to say their ABCs or count to 10 in Spanish. Something.
Sing happy birthday.
Just something different, right? And this young, I think he was probably somewhere between 3rd and 4th grade. He might have been in 5th grade. He wasn't 5th grade. Somewhere between 3rd and 4th grade. Young African American kid came up. He didn't have a joke. And I said, well, Junior ABCs. He's like, yeah, I know my ABCs.
Oh my God, this was amazing.
And I said, well, all right, well, do your ABCs for us. And he proceeded to rap his ABCs. And it was so cool. And of course I gave him candy. I said, thank you so much. That was really great. And when he left, I looked at Emily and I said, that shattered all of my expectations, because I had been sitting there expecting him to do the ABCs like we
grew up.
A, B, C, D, right?
I'm doing dog duty now.
And this young man did the ABCs in a completely different way.
And it was
so good.
ABCs ever.
And I said to myself, there's like my interpretation and my perception does not equal. It's not the only perception and interpretation out there.
Right.
And it took this young man on Halloween in such a small way, right?
Yeah.
Shatter like years of conditioning. Now you hear. Here comes the other dog.
Yeah,
You ready to let this one out?
I know. Here. There we go.
Just don't let the cat out.
Yeah.
No, he's over here.
Now I'm gonna close that.
Yeah. Now they're outside.
I just thought it was really impressive. Like
Mm-hmm.
just how limited of a viewpoint I've had. Like to not even think other people might see their ABCs differently. Right.
Right. Like we were totally like white girl ABCs.
Right.
White, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant / Catholic, ABCs, And this young man rapped it. It was great. And actually I preferred his version.
Oh my God. I wish I could do that version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. And then Emily did have one moment when a couple came up, and I think they might have had like a 4-month-old.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's COVID. You've got your newborn in a little car seat. It wasn't even dressed. And were they even dressed? I mean, I don't even know. But they're like, trick or treat. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? This is just wrong on so many levels. Now, I get it if you're a new parent and you just like, honey, we got to do something to get out there and try to like survive right now. Like, I can get that. But,
Give yourselves 10 hours and all that candy's half off at Walgreens.
Yeah.
It was
very interesting tack. I mean, I have not seen adults trick or treat
for their newborn,
exploiting their babies to trick or treat. Yeah. But it's also the area that you were like, well, that was a really slow year as you anticipated it would be. But since I've been in St. Louis, I have not seen a year like that. It was crazy how much activity,
how much traffic we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Join us in post-COVID times.
God.
You will need to bring more candy to add to the.
That's expensive. Like, what is your like budget usually when?
That's kind of embarrassing. I spend anywhere between $80 and $100 on candy.
I mean, that is
just to give to people.
Wait, do people have like savings accounts where they put away like each month on their paycheck, like?
No, we're just
Halloween fun.
Or somehow we just manage it. And on my street, that's not even nearly as bad as it is on some other streets. But there are a few other streets around here that really go to town with like the decorations and the everything about it. We have some fun here, but I'm glad you came over because I would not have sat out there on the front porch and given out candy by myself.
It made me feel kind of like connected with our community again.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that's been kind of missing lately by not being out and about. Like, I don't feel as connected with other people in the community. So it was really actually pretty helpful for me. It also inspired me.
Did it?
It did. So, for years and years and years, I've loved Halloween.
Yeah.
Loved it. Like every year.
Is that your most favorite? No, Christmas is your most favorite.
It's tough. I love them for different reasons. It's like picking a favorite child. I can't pick a favorite.
Well, my children would say I've picked favorites.
Oh, right.
But that's on them.
I love both Halloween. I love both Christmas. I love and Christmas. But I love the dark side of Halloween, so I'll get it. I'll get it. I'm on this side. All right, dogs are coming in. Come on. There's one.
Hurry.
Okay. She's not in this time.
She's not ready.
So every year, for years, I held Halloween parties, and I would make a new prop each year. Like I made coffins, a haunted grandfather clock, all these great props. So I have kept them in storage since I've moved to St. Louis, and I am now wanting to bring them home because next Halloween I want to do it up.
Okay.
I want to have my cemetery going up my hill.
Yeah.
I want to have my coffin in my entryway. I want to
do
it. I want to do it.
The house you live in, you have to go all of these steps to get to your front door. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of steps.
I know. We don't have trick-or-treaters.
Right. So I wonder if you're going to do all of that kind of scenes and back, whatever, what's the word, set design, if you will. Maybe, provided the weather is good, what if you, if you're down towards, maybe halfway up your steps, so people don't have to go as far? Or, around the sign.
No, I have ideas. So, in Peoria, where I'm from, Grandview Drive. That is the drive in Peoria. That's everybody's you look over the Illinois River, the big old homes. It's just really pretty. And so they get a lot of trick-or-treaters. There's a home that looks like a castle. It's nicknamed the Castle. Yeah. And they do the most wonderful job with trick-or-treating because the whole family pitches in. Not only is everything stylized over the top, but they always had this person the king sitting in a throne as you come up to the entryway. Wow, did they do it upright. And so you get there, and the king is gives you a pencil. And I'm telling you, it's the best Halloween thing. It's a pencil, but it says Happy Halloween from the Castle. Yeah. And, it's just really special, the whole experience of it. It's not about getting another piece of candy. It's walking through the experience where people are trying to scare you and all of the props that
So do you want to do something similar?
I kind of want to do something like that. Yeah, where it's you put a little extra effort in, you come all the way, it's going to be worth your time.
Well, yeah, that's a goal. That's a good goal to have. And I think if anybody in this room will accomplish it, you will. My ex-husband was very fond of Halloween, and he would do up the front yard, and he had a coffin, and and I would sit there and say things like, yeah, my husband wouldn't told me no, and look what happened to him. I was definitely much more about making jokes and drinking wine and passing out candy back then. Now it's not so bad. I just have to keep the budget down. So Emily, it's tricky. We have
nibbling away here.
We're nibbling away. It is.
What is it?
It's 8:48.
Oh my God! Can you believe it?
We have 12 minutes left.
Oh my gosh!
Of our time of the month. What are you looking forward to? I guess we should cheers to a new president. Cheers to the first female vice president and woman of color vice president.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers for that.
Yeah. Cheers to season 6 coming up.
Oh, of the podcast.
Aww.
Yeah.
Season 6.
Yeah. I know.
Wow. I gotta drink to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of good wine. And really only one bad one. There's really only been one bad wine.
In 6 seasons?
Yeah. Think about it.
Only one bad wine?
Yep. One where we're both like, that episode was...
The time of the month?
No.
Which episode are you talking about?
It was early on. It was a white wine, like the White Knight, I think it was.
I wasn't fond of the White Knight. I also didn't like the Shook. I
liked it.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, you weren't like, this is appalling.
Oh, no. The wine you brought to the last time of the month, that was appalling.
Yes.
the cola.
I think that was off.
It was 2 time of the months ago.
Yeah, I think that was off. Because
Okay.
I've had the same bottle. Not that same one.
Not the one you had, but somebody else had?
It tasted different.
Okay, well, sometimes that happens.
It does. Yeah.
But we have, so much to look forward to, so much to,
I'm really looking forward to hearing, from our friends like Vanessa, who's just joined us. What are some things that you're thankful for? What are you looking forward to in the next year?
I mean, if they want to call us and tell us.
Yes, you can call. Be a part of the conversation right now.
Like, for real live.
This is, by the way, be a pioneer with us. Kind of like the very early settlers in the United States who started Thanksgiving. You can help us be an early...
The very early settlers in the United States who pioneered...
You can help us out. Call us and have a chat with us. And you can do that like right now, by the way. Like you can actually be on the show. So I'm hoping somebody takes us on for that challenge. Oh, Judy, oh my God, that's my mom.
Is she calling right now?
She's not calling, but she's watching, Mom. You can call. Maybe tell us the secrets to that Billy Sunday pudding.
I want to know how much Jell-O she cooks for her family now.
I don't think she doesn't.
No, she doesn't make Jell-O for you guys anymore?
No. That really wasn't her thing. That was Grandma's thing.
Jell-O is so bad for you.
Really?
Gelatin is all fake and stuff. How are you doing on wine? You good over there, Denise?
How are you doing on wine? And what are you joining this conversation with today?
If my phone rings, answer it.
Oh, I will. I will definitely.
I'm gonna get our producer a little bit more wine.
Well, these are definite priorities. Everybody needs to be good and toasty here. So anyway, so we actually got back into the studio today, recorded our the first of season 6, which was a pretty cool conversation, which will be 2 weeks. Yeah, you can see in a couple of weeks. She is this amazing woman who is in Africa. Mm-hmm. She's an immunologist.
No, epidemiologist.
Oh, epidemiologist. Different kind of thing. Epidemiologist. And she is there doing work to help with the HIV problems that are there, helping to institute programs and do research.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn that there, 14% infection rate in the country of Malawi.
Yeah.
And I was...
It's quite staggering.
Yes, yeah. we have in the United States, I think according to that Google page I was on...
It's like 1%.
1.1 million people in the United States.
Oh, okay, so it's less than that. Right?
Way less because we have 300 million.
Right.
1.1 million.
Like, yeah.
So something.
Whoever's good at math, do the math. But yeah, it's really
much less. And what they said about the United States statistics on that Google page that I looked up was that out of the 1.1 million that have it, let's say 50% don't know, which is a problem. Yeah.
Wow. So that was really interesting to learn about that and learn, a little bit about, why it's a problem there and get her perspective being an American in Africa and just kind of the differences culturally.
St. Louisan. In
That's
Africa.
Right.
Yeah, she's from St. Louis.
Really, really wonderful person. So I feel like it was a really great way to start season 6, and we have some pretty awesome conversations
lined up. Absolutely. It's so much fun. And, I think my dogs want to come back in. You guys haven't called us, which is fine. I'm not going to.
Okay.
That's whatever.
We're not going to take it personally.
No.
We know it's scary to be the first time caller. Long time watcher, first time caller. We know that can be a challenge. So.
But we will do this again where we can take the calls from you guys and maybe a Q&A, things that you've always wanted to ask us. We will definitely be here to answer it. We'll be back in January. No, December. Oh my God. We'll be back in December. I had jumped us a month,
we
girl.
are always on the last Wednesday of the month.
This would be like New Year's Eve.
Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to do something really special. Ooh, I'm so excited! We can dress up.
We'll be sporting our ragamuffin clothes. And Emily's will have a little bit more bling than mine will.
I think it'll be like, wait, didn't you get the memo? We're dressing up. You'll be like, I thought it was Ragamuffin Day.
Yeah, it's Ragamuffin Day. It'll be right there towards the end of the year.
Oh my gosh.
My dogs are gonna get groomed that day.
You know what?
On the 30th. On the 30th of.
It is as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be fun. So, so
we'll be back on the 30th.
If you
Isn't
have
that
any
crazy?
ideas of topics you would like for us to explore on our New Year's Eve,
New Year's Double Eve
soiree, please share with us.
Oh, baby, what's in?
All right, here we go. Here I go again.
It's one of those things when you have animals that are used to running however they want to run. They don't care that you're doing a live show on Facebook for your podcast. They're like, hey, I'm outside and you have cheese and you haven't given me any cheese.
I know. I think that's really what this is about. It's an excuse to come by the table so that they can maybe catch something that's falling on the floor.
This girl, one Christmas party a couple of years ago, I had this really great block of cheddar cheese on the coffee table because I had like a happy hour kind of thing happening before we were gonna have dinner later, and it was in that transition point.
Yeah.
And I looked over, and she had gone to the coffee table, and she picked up the whole hunk of cheese in her mouth.
Oh.
So she had. It was not a cheap block of cheese. She had a half of it in her mouth, and the other half is hanging out here.
Oh my God.
And I like literally screamed at her from the dining room, no, as if she's trying to put us on fire or whatever.
Right.
Like,
the cheese!
Drop it now! You can't do that to me. And then I had to toss it. I couldn't in good conscience eat that cheese later. She had her whole mouth on it.
I know.
So that's part of it. She was like seeing if she could, get us distracted. She could reach up here for the brie.
Yeah.
and have that.
This is a girl who's gotten used to some luxury.
She has gotten used to luxury. Absolutely.
I should love that for them though. I mean, I don't want them stealing the brie, but I love that the doggies feel so happy and comfortable that they're like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, I'm very grateful that they have been relatively well behaved tonight while we did our show from the kitchen, Studio K.
Yes.
We're just moving around. We're going to change things up. It's been a lot of fun. It was a great opportunity trying to figure out how to best make these things work.
Yeah, I have some photos to share with you all, by the way.
How many times did I crawl on the floor tonight?
Oh my God. We right now have a camera propped up with a bag of sugar and a bungee cord. If that gives you any idea at the creativity that transpired tonight to make this show happen. This show brought to you by pure granulated sugar.
And bungee cords. Everybody needs those.
And beans. At one point we had a camera.
And we did have some can of beans doing some stuff and some clamps and and I had to crawl under things to get here. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's what we do. I mean, it wouldn't be our time of the month if it didn't.
It didn't come with a little discomfort.
But fortunately for us, we can like stop that shit 1 hour later.
Isn't that
it's
the best time of the month ever because it's just 1 hour.
I mean, I'm not trying to like count down when we're done with this by any means, but it is nearly 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock by T-Mobile time.
Yeah. I feel so bad. We can't be leaving everybody with it like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. We're out of here. There's got to be a better way to close this conversation down.
I guess here's to the next month. May everybody stay healthy. May you adjust to family holidays and COVID times the best you can. And continue to count your blessings.
If there's some really fun games that you learn how to play with your family via technology, or
share with us.
Yeah, please let us know because we're all starving for new ideas. So yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving, happy beginning of the holiday season, and many blessings to you all.
Cheers.